All right, now that we're finally technologically back in business after a little bit of a server debacle over at EP Autos, I can post this video right up of this 2014 Toyota RAV4. It's pretty much a carryover for the new model year for 2014. It was all new in 13, so there's not a whole lot that's new other than a new technology package that's on the top line limited trim. There is nothing about this vehicle that particularly stands out, which is kind of interesting given the media campaign that Toyota has, where they use the Muppets and they screech about how it's not boring. But at first look, it's pretty boring. But boring can be good. There is absolutely nothing about this vehicle that is negative or bad, and there's so much about it that's just basically good that the thing really grows on you the longer you spend time in it. Well, let me show you some of the things about it that are good. Now, under the hood, there's just one engine that's available in this thing, regardless of trim. 2.5 liter 4. Toyota uses this in several of their vehicles, and it's the standard and only engine available in this car. But look at all that room that you got in there. Isn't that nice? And in particular, look where the battery is, and look how it's just held down, the pull-down clamp right there. Very easy to get to it, very easy to unbolt it. Let me put the prop rod up. Hang on just a second. Sorry for that. I need a media guy to hold my camera. Anyway, pulling the battery out of this thing is pretty easy. In some cars, you'll find the battery is tucked underneath the fender or tucked underneath the cowl, making it very awkward, very difficult to get out. Another thing I noticed that's really nice, here's your air box, and that's where the air cleaner is located. And to access that, to change your air filter, all you got to do is pull out those little snap rings and lift this top off, and you can change your air filter. No tools required. Really nice. The alternator is right there, very accessible, and most of the other things that you'd want for purposes of do-it-yourself work are readily accessible. So, really laud that. Now, this thing's not a hot rod by any means. It takes about 9 seconds for it to get to 60, but that's actually quite competitive with some of the vehicles, actually all the other vehicles in this class, at least on a price equivalent basis and with their standard engines. The front-wheel drive version of this gets to 60 in just over 9 seconds, and the version with all-wheel drive slightly slower, but not that much. And it's certainly adequately powerful for A to B driving. It's got nice room up in front and nice room out and back. Very balanced. It's not like in some vehicles that have a ton of room up front and then really tight back seats. Again, here I'm going to sit in this thing, and you can see how it is for somebody my size. I'm 6'3". And you can see that my knees have plenty of spreading out room, and also there's a lot of headroom up here too, so that's really nice. Let me show you some of the interior details that I think are fabulous, that I really liked a lot. The week before I had this car, I had a Cadillac Escalade, and the thing had what GM calls haptic controls, which are touch and slide. Couldn't stand them. I love having a nice big knob here. You know, push the engine on. You want to change the temperature, you rotate the knob and the temperature changes. And if you want to adjust the airspeed, there you go. Now look at that. If I wanted to turn the volume down or turn the radio off, push the button, turn the knob. Tune that to turn the radio station. Easy peasy Japanesey. I also really like, they've got this kind of raised console here, and it puts the instruments in such a position that they're again very easy to see, very easy to get to. Like the manual activated parking brake, that's really good. Simple basic gauge cluster, everything that you need and nothing that you don't. No crapola in this car. Really like that. Alright, let's take a look at the back. This is a limited, so this model has the power rear lift gate. The base models don't have it. Come on, buddy. Here we go. And because it's a crossover, and I'll say this in defense of all the crossovers, you'll note the load floor is lower, and so the vehicle's not that high. And unless you're pretty short, it's really not difficult to manually open and close this. You can just grab this and pull this. Now this is electric, so you push this button and it would close automatically. There's a couple of vehicles in this class that have slightly more cargo room in the back, but not any that have exceptionally more room in the back, and this has more room in back than several. So once again, supremely competent. There is just nothing about this vehicle that is negative, at least nothing that I could find particularly. Well, there is one thing. I mentioned this in the review, which is up at epautos.com, and that is in some of the other markets, not the U.S. market, in Europe and some other markets where Toyota sells this vehicle. You can get a turbo diesel engine in this thing, but unfortunately Toyota has decided that they're not going to sell it here. At least they're not going to sell it here yet. Anyway, the rest of the review is up at epautos.com, and I hope you'll stop by and take a look and leave your thoughts, pro or con. Let us know what you think, and we'll catch up with you next week.